Redesigning Poppy Playtime to be time period accurate part 1.
Poppy!
Listen, I love Poppy, but she does not look like a doll from the 1950s. She reminds me of those human LPS dolls, giant head and little body. And that's fine, but I wanted to redesign her closer to how a real doll would look like. So I gave her more realistic proportions, akin to the real plastic dolls from that time period. I also tried to give her a bigger head just to keep some similarity to the original design. My design is also a lot less fleshy, with her colors being worn from age. I imagine that our Poppy is particularly dull from all her years in the factory. Quick interjection though, what did you guys think of the newest chapter? I've got a lot of thoughts and would like to hear yours. Maybe I could also do a little rewrite, who knows? Anyways, I originally wanted our Poppy to be damaged, but frankly, I don't think she saw enough action for that to be true. But I did give her a droopy eye, another hint at how old she is, as older dolls typically have some eyelid issues. Let me know who you'd like to see next. Redesigning Poppy Playtime to be time period accurate part 2.
Kissy, missy!
Hello goobers, it is me again. Again, I must reiterate that I have no issues with these designs overall. This is just a fun little experiment. For Kissy and Huggy, I ended up referencing the Muppets and Sock Monkeys, and in the end I only really changed some colors and their faces. Huggy was made in the 80s, so I designed him first video coming on Saturday, but I got so many requests for Kissy, so she's here first. For Kissy, I wanted to differentiate her from Huggy a bit more, so I made her gloves and feet blue to match with her bow. Bow!
Bow!
Anyways, I gave her for a bit more of a puffy, curly look as well. And imagine that our Kissy has nearly matted fur, with some small bald patches from injuries. When coloring her, I tried to replicate the softer colors of baby toys since that'd likely be the demographic she and Huggy were made for. Thank my dear friend CJ for that idea. And don't let her dead eyes fool you. She's pretty darn smart. Comment who you'd like to see next. Redesigning Poppy Playtime to be time period accurate part 3.
Huggy wuggy!
So like I said in my Kissy Missy video, I designed Huggy first, so I'll put my full design thoughts in this video. I tried to keep their designs just as simple as the originals, as I picture them as baby toys. They sort of remind me of koalas, so I leaned into that by giving them round noses. I imagine that their mouths are stitched on, rather than an actual opening. At least, that's true for the mass-produced toys. All the Huggy variants have Velcro patches on their hands and feet like plush monkeys, better to hug with. Their eyes are akin to teddy bears, being round and reflective. Sometimes, the shine makes it seem like they're staring right at you. They're covered in a thin layer of fur, with the thickest areas being around their heads. In general, I wanted to make them seem friendlier, like they were made for a specific demographic, like infants. I made their colors lighter, to appeal to that audience as well. I didn't end up keeping the lips, as I wanted to continue with the Muppet look. Let me know who you'd like to see next. Redesigning Poppy Playtime to be time period accurate part 4.
Doughy the Doll Man.
I had to check the wiki to see what time period this guy came from. What the hell do you mean 1950s? I would have guessed early 2000s, but whatever. Anyways, I love Doughy. I love his design. And here's another chance for me to say, I am not claiming these redesigns are better than the originals. I'm not doing these because I hate the originals. I'm doing these because I like picturing these characters more accurately to the decades they were made. Anyways, my ideas changed a lot when I found out this guy is like 74 years old. I eventually settled on referencing different illustrations of Frosty the Snowman from that time period. I ended up not changing much about the design itself and focused more on adapting the design to a different style. But for fun, I added some cute little buttons and a nose to make him seem more like a snowman. Also, how would you guys like a separate series where I use these designs for the in-game characters, all monstrous and stuff? Let me know who you want to see next. Redesigning Poppy Playtime to be time period accurate part 5.
Mommy lonely.
Okay, so honestly, I don't have any complaints for her original design. I think she looks pretty accurate for the time period she was meant to come from, early 90s. So this redesign was more so an excuse to lean into the spider aspect of her design, which was absolute hell for me to draw. Like, oh my god, I shouldn't have signed myself up for this amount of limbs. I also gave her some pearls as accessories, which I imagine can be traded out for different accessories. I'm not sure Betty's spaghetti has different accessories, so I imagine her to be like a Polly Pocket in that regard. Honestly, I think it'd be cool if she were part of the same wildlife conservation line that Yarnaby came from. Like, I know y'all fear spiders, but check out this queen. Please stop decimating your native spider species. Speaking of Yarnaby, his video will come out on Saturday. Be there or be square. Let me know who you'd like to see next. Redesigning Poppy Playtime to be Time Period Accurate Part 6.
Yarnaby.
I love this little freak, genuinely a highlight of Chapter 4. I was a bit disappointed at how anticlimactic his death was, but I still love him. This little guy was made in the 1970s as part of a wildlife conservation campaign. As much as I love his design, most lion plushes from the time typically had very prominent noses. But aside from some changes to his face and mane, I tried to keep his silly, stupid eyes and colors. I did shorten his mane a bit though, as I wanted it to appear more like a mane than whole body fur. I also gave him a tail with more yarn hair. Fun fact, I originally wanted to change his hair to be a different material before I remembered that. His name, Yarnaby. Yarnaby. I'm a fool. Also, I've seen a few people asking if they can do their own redesigns. My friends, I don't own these characters. You don't need to credit me for that. Do what you like and have fun smiley face. Let me know who you'd like to see next. Redesigning Poppy Playtime to be Time Period Accurate Part 7.
PJ Pugpillar.
Ho ho ho!
Drew this guy while sick. I want to explode him. He is a real cutie patootie though, so I won't. Anyways, I referenced plush caterpillars and pugs from the 90s for this fella. I also took inspiration from animatronics from that time period, as from what I can tell PJ was made for the game station. While this version is a toy, I still wanted it to look similar to the living version I have in my head. PJ's original design has quite a lot going on, so I went into this with the intention of simplifying that design alongside making it more accurate. So I got rid of his strange little shoes and replaced them with paws. I also gave him a little curly tail. I tried to make him appealing for all ages. Not as simple as a baby toy might be, but still cute enough to appeal to all age groups in the game station. Also, I'll be posting full images on my other social media, all under the same user. Let me know who you'd like to see next. Redesigning Poppy Playtime to be Time Period Accurate Part 8.
Catnap and Dogday.
Surprise! I'm doing both of them in this video. That's totally not because the footage for Catnap wasn't long enough. Anyways, I took inspiration from the Care Bears for these guys. Originally, I wanted to give Catnap a little sleeping cap, but I want them to be simple enough to read as the same character without added accessories. I decided to give him sleepy eyes though. I also made his crescent moon part of his body rather than a necklace. As for Dogday, I tried to make him as upbeat and happy as possible. Again, his little sun pendant is part of his body here. His pose also gave me a chance to show the heart-shaped paw markings. In the end, I think it was much better to design him and Catnap side by side. They're a pair, whether they like it or not. Dogday couldn't leave if he tried.
The cat chases the dog. 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 The cat chases.
Let me know who you'd like to see next. Redesigning Poppy Playtime to be Time Period Accurate Part 9.
Smiling critters.
Drew every single one of these guys over the uninterrupted span of 4 hours. My hand hurts like a son of a bitch. Remember to take breaks, everyone. Honestly, I mostly started this series because of the smiling critters. They just didn't seem realistic in any sense of the word. And while that's fine, I do wish they had designed these characters to look like actual toys instead of something deliberately and only made for a horror game. For mascot horror, many creators decide to put all their eggs in one basket and design their characters to be horrifying and nothing else. But they forget that these are mascots before they are horror, so it comes across as a bit lacking in my eyes. I want to believe these are genuinely made for kids. You can be creepy and kid-friendly at the same time. Also, why is everyone talking about cats chasing dogs in the comments of my last video? Is there an inside joke I'm not in on? I reviewed my video and saw nothing of the sort. What's going on here? Anyways, no comparisons this time because that would be far too many pictures to add. But still, let me know who you'd like to see next. Redesigning Poppy Playtime to be Time Period Accurate Part 10. Huggy Wuggy 2.0 and Monster Huggy. Can't lie, I wasn't satisfied with my original Huggy redesign. So consider this a redesign of a redesign. I just thought my original design was lacking something. He's supposed to be Playtime Co.'s most popular toy, and yet my redesign looked so basic. Well, time period accurate. It was also boring. So this was a nice opportunity for me to spice it up. I like him much better now and hope you do too. As for Monster Huggy, I tried to keep it realistic. As realistic as a human turned into a toy can be, anyways. His eyes are sunken in. His bow tie is making it hard to breathe. You can see his ribs under his fake skin and fur. You can see him. You can see him. I tried to make him more grotesque than anything else. Like a real rotting corpse, forced to stand and keep going. His hands are purposefully backwards BTW. I think it adds to the fact that this thing should probably not exist. I tried to...
Dear Mr. State.
Redesigning Poppy Playtime to be time period accurate part 11.
Bunzo and Daisy.
Ho ho ho!
I did not expect so many Bunzo fans to exist, but the amount of times this guy has been requested has told me otherwise. Anyways, I tried to make sure he didn't look exactly like Hoppy, so I gave him a rounder body. I also replaced the little tuft on his hat with a bell. I think it's cute. The main thing I wanted to change were his eyes, so I didn't go out of my way to change much else about him. I did get rid of his clown makeup though. I wanted to stick with the little green goober vibe, instead of mixing in one single clown motif. Did you know Daisy was supposed to be the musical memory enemy? I sure didn't. Poor girl got written out of her own section. But not to worry. To people who requested her, I will give her some much needed love. Turns out, she's a marionette, which I think is super neat. I think her simplistic design may have ended up being her downfall though, poor girl. Just couldn't compete with the dead-eyed yellow rabbit. Many such cases. I'm sort of running out of things to say here. I just adapted her to a different style and made her a bit less unnerving. Let me know who you'd like to see next. Redesigning Poppy Playtime to be time period accurate part 12. Kissy Missy 2.0 and Monster Kissy. Like I mentioned in my Huggy video, I decided to redesign my redesigns. Just wasn't happy with my OG Huggy and Kissy designs. Anyways, I adore this Muppet-looking goober. She's so silly. Gotta be my favorite character in the game. I really just updated her bow tie and her face. I also gave her some lips, really living up to her name now. I also tried to make the little ribbons on her bow tie look like hearts. She's a real cutie patootie now. Are you here to help? As for Monster Kissy, she's in the same boat as Huggy, except much more starved and much weaker. How can I know to trust? Thankfully, she was built better due to being the second bigger body Kissy experiment. I don't understand what you are. Now the right side of her body is scorched. She's missing fur all across her arm and face. I could get into a grittier description, but I don't want TikTok to get angry with me, haha. I also don't think it's necessary. You can already see how much pain she's in, how tired she is, and yet she still cares enough to catch you. I love her. She deserves the world. Let me know who you'd like to see next. Redesigning Poppy Playtime to be time period accurate part 13. Monster Catnap. The bigger body Catnap experiment was designed to be able to gather and kidnap the children of Playcare. It was designed for that purpose, with spindly legs to sweep them up for further testing. To separate a child from their group. The guardian and the nightmare of the Playcare all at once. Is it really that surprising, the way it turned out? Anyways, I tried to make it as different from my toy design as possible. Much wider smile, much longer legs, much deeper eyes. And, of course, a spot in the back of its throat to emit the red gas. Its mouth is rotted outwards, revealing the inside of its mouth in a horrid smile. I imagine that it can crawl along the walls with its sharp claws. Horrendous beast, the most well-fed creature in the factory. But that's not saying much. That means it can hunt for other reasons. While covered in scratches, the only real injury it sustained is the tear in its ear. In that tussle, it lost its moon pendant. Can you help me find it? Let me know who you'd like to see next. Redesigning Poppy Playtime to be time period accurate part 14.
Monster Long Legs.
Dude, how has this series been going on so long? And yet, I only have a few characters left to go. That's crazy. Anyways, I wanted Mommy Longlegs to appear weirdly put together despite her circumstances. She would never let her injuries, her missing and torn legs, affect her personally. She's the damn matriarch of the game station. Unfortunately, she is still starving under her plastic skin, so that really sucks for her. R.I.P. Queen. I gave her some dead eyes and a gaping mouth. That seems pretty accurate to the game itself. Except her eyes are a bit deader. What a freak. Also, I meant to ask in one of my previous videos, but are there any other series you'd like to see redesigned? I'm specifically looking at this series from the angle of being time period accurate, rather than putting my personal spin on any redesigns. Currently, I'm toying with the idea of redesigning FNAF characters, but I'd love to do games like Dandy's World as well. So leave suggestions. Let me know who you'd like to see next. Redesigning Poppy Playtime to be time period accurate Part 15. Monster Dogday. It seems a lot of people would like me to redesign a lot of different things. I'm kind of surprised by the sheer amount of responses I got. Next up on the docket is Dandy's World. Feel free to leave more suggestions though. Anyways, Dogday, yeesh. I can't lie, I'm a bit disappointed in how little of a purpose he has in the game. If I were to rewrite it, I think I have him on the phone instead of Ollie. Ollie as a character is already incredibly random and incredibly confusing. I don't really like the whole Ollie as the prototype plot point anyways, so instead I think the eventual reveal of your lovable phone companion being a legless mess would be a bit more jarring. Especially when the character you've learned to trust is forced to attack you. In general, I just feel bad for him. He's genuinely such an interesting, underutilized character. I wonder how he found the crescent. Let me know who you'd like to see next. Redesigning Poppy Playtime to be time period accurate Part 16.
Monster Yarnaby.
Ho ho ho!
Honestly, I'm so happy they went back and revamped his death. Because how the hell did he catch on fire so quickly while just dangling? What do you guys think of the change? I've seen some people who prefer his death being a bit more ambiguous. Anyways, onto the design. A lot of people were confused as to why my toy version didn't have the split head, but I was saving it for the experiment version of this fella. It didn't make much sense to me to keep the split head on the toy design anyways. I'd understand if it were extra stitching, but I don't think it needed it. I think this guy would have had several run-ins with fire in the past. His mane got scorched and his tail was burned down to a stub. Alongside that, I gave him several scratches and scars to show he's clumsy and doesn't care if his prey fights back. Those stitched eyes on his face aren't real either. He needs to open his mouth to see, revealing his true eyes and mouth. Truly a freak of nature. Let me know what you think and who you'd like to see next. Redesigning Poppy Playtime to be time period accurate Part 17.
Nightmare critters.
Holy moly, I have not gotten this amount of requests for anything else. Which is weird because I don't like these guys very much. I just don't understand their inclusion in the story very much. Especially when their role could have been taken by the mini Huggies. However, you guys have given me a better appreciation for them. Especially when some folks drew comparisons to the Garbage Pail Kids. I do really like the idea of these guys being a creepy spin-off for older kids. I also really like their color palettes, as simple as they are. Though I do think some of their names would change. I'm not sure Raby Baby is appropriate coming from a toy company. Also, shout out to Polar Raven. They them realness. Also, if I ever need to draw a character in this shape ever again, I think I will promptly lose my mind. But I would like to point out the ugly tuft of hair I gave Simon Smoke the Dragon. I always loved the ugly hair on older dolls. Though I also changed his pendant because I'm also not sure a toy company would preach getting big bucks to children. Now is your chance to tell me more games or pieces of media you'd like to see redesigned. I'm forming a list and would eventually like to start making longer videos about my redesigns on YouTube. You can find me under the same username. And as always, let me know who you'd like to see next.